Everyone faces dark times, no matter how rich or strong or enlightened they are. Some people do better than others. They rise to the challenge and ride the ups and downs to a successful outcome. How can you build your strength to hold and use power? There are a number of things that can lead to disempowerment. Some of them are really subtle. Getting out of bed on the wrong side of the bed, and you find that throughout the day, everything that's happening seems to go wrong. People are honking at you, the parking place is not there, the phone call that you need to make won't go through, your computer's not working. All of these things seeming to be out of your control and coming from getting out of bed and starting the day off wrong. More pronounced ways of feeling disempowered could be through such shocking events as heart attack. Whoa, that really takes the power away. And even greater in magnitude are shocking events and disempowering events such as natural disasters, earthquakes, for example. So, here's what it looks like to feel disempowered. Now, maybe you're wondering, well, why is there disempowerment anyway? What's so is we have events in our lives which cause us to stop. They create shock, they create discomfort. They are events which are capturing our attention so that with that attention we can focus on what it is that's making us uncomfortable in the moment. So let me give you a real-life example. There are times when you haven't a clue what's going on. You just know that you're not feeling up to speed, that there's something going on that is bothering you. You can see something was really bothering me here. I went through a period where nothing could go right and I didn't know what to do about it. I ended up calling my daughter and talking with her, and she had a perfect word for it. She said, "Oh, sounds like you're feeling gnarly." And that's true, I was. And her recommendation was that I should give voice to what I was feeling, since the words for what it was feeling weren't coming out. The words just didn't do it. So I went in my studio and I started to make noise. The cat fled the scene, my dog went to the other end of the house, and my husband found reasons to leave completely for the time being. However, what happened in the process was this. I got the sense of the feelings inside, and it made me want to do something about it right away. So doing these doors was a perfect excuse. I got this door, laid it flat on a table, poured turpentine over it, squeezed out the paint, and I let it rip. I had plastic gloves on, and this was the biggest finger painting I've ever done in my life. What happened was that the gnarly feeling that I couldn't describe came forth in sound, came forth in color and shape and design. And from that point, I was able to take a look at what was going on inside. What does this have to do with disempowerment? When you feel disempowered, you want to get to the heart of the feeling. Once you've got the feeling, you can give it a name or a color or a title. I call this Kendra Blows Her Stack. And from that point forward, I knew what I was working with. And that is how we take disempowerment and move beyond it. Disempowerment often comes out of a feeling that we can't even describe. And yet it's getting in the way of our proceeding forward and feeling good about what we're doing. There are certain things that we can do to access these unnameable emotions. One is, if you're inclined to enjoy and work with music, you can make music vocally or with your instrument to create an outlet to describe the emotions. If you enjoy writing, you can sit down and, without thinking about a subject, write for a timed amount and come up with what's underneath this feeling of unease. Or you can work with color, and that's what I'd like to demonstrate for you today. The materials that we use can be very simple. A medium-sized pad of paper, and I'm using color pastels. They're oil pastels. I like oil pastels because they're not quite as messy as the soft chalk. Now, if you choose to do this process, you don't need to be artistic in any way. In fact, you don't need to be able to see. I'll remove my glasses just to prove that. Here's how we go about working with this process. I am feeling a unnamed emotion. It just has me feeling unproductive, shall we say. So I'm going to stop and think for a minute, well, if I could give this feeling a color, what color would that be? And to me, I'm thinking, all right, it's going to be a greenish tone. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let the color speak for itself. I'm going to close my eyes. That's why you don't need to be talented to do this or need glasses. I am feeling a color or an energy which just is keeping me, I feel boxed in by this color. Now, I gotta tactily keep track of where I am, and I'm using the side of my chalk right now because I just want something broad and chunky and, okay. I feel like I've pretty well defined the enclosure. So I'm going to open my eyes and I'll put the chalk down and I'll look at what I'm doing and I'll show you what I've done so far. Now I've just created a pen, so to speak. There's more though. There's more that's going on inside me, and as I think about it, I think, there's something here that wants to move. And for me, I think turquoise. And this time around, I might use the tip of my pastel. Notice I'm closing my eyes, and now there's an energy. I'm feeling something different. The first color I put down was kind of dull. This one, the way that I'm putting it down is even different. The energy that's coming out right now is totally different from what happened the first time around. And sometimes you'll run off the page. If you do, hop back on the page, or maybe you're done. I'm going to stop, open my eyes, set the chalk down, and this is what has come up from the second layer of my feelings. And what's so is I don't feel quite so dull now. I feel a sense of the energy starting to move. So let's see what comes up next. Actually, I'm drawn to using a red color. By the way, if I want to, I could use two colors at the same time. I could get two pieces of chalk. In fact, I think I will, and drive them simultaneously. Once again, I close my eyes, and I am going to draw with these colors. Now, I'm not thinking about where I want to go. It's almost as though I am simply following what the color wants to do. I'm manipulating it. Couldn't be here without my hands, but I am not directing it. There's a real difference between that. Okay, and I'll go off the page. I hope I'm going off the page. There. And now I'm going to stop and open my eyes. Put the chalk down, and here's what I have so far. Now, you will continue to add layers of color until you feel empty. Empty is one way of feeling, or done, or calm. One of those. So I am going to say that this is the point where I'm done. And the first thing I would recommend is that we look at the, we'll call this the color drawing from its side. I'm going to turn it upside down, look at it that way. I'll look at it from its other side, and then back to the original direction in which I worked. And having looked at this, I might actually come up with a title. And this title might say, I look at this, and for me, the feeling that comes through is that of being puzzled. So if I feel like it, I might actually write the title Puzzled here. In this process, I have taken emotion, an undescribed emotion from inside. I have put it outside where I can actually see it and identify it. And this is our way out of a state of disempowerment into a degree of clarity. It's as simple as that.